Allahu, 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 Allah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulihil Kareem amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum, dear Sheikh. Wa alaikum salam, dear brother or sister. Does Allah say anything about the four corners of the earth in the Quran or Hadith Qudsi? Does this appear in any Hadith? It is often heard in talks about the phrase four corners of the world. The four corners of the world is an English phrase. I have not come across this exact phrase in the Quran or in the Hadith. Yes, in the Quran it comes وَلِلَّهِ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ رَبُّ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ رَبُّ الْمَشْرِقَيْنِ وَرَبُّ الْمَغْرِبَيْنِ. These verses comes, but this refers to the east and the west. It comes in dual, not in plural. مشارقين رب المشرقين ورب مشارق الأرض ومغاربها مشرق ومغرب. But the exact phrase of four corners of the world, it is not mentioned. It didn't. I don't think that is mentioned in the Quran anywhere. In the modern Arabic, it's anha'ul alam. That's the word in Arabic. Anha'ul alam, meaning all over the world, the whole world. But I don't know. It's not clear what the context of your question is. Maybe you're asking that can I use this phrase? Yes, you can use. Whether you can use the English phrase, you can use the Arabic phrase. Both are correct. So it doesn't matter. Assalamu alaikum. I pray you are all well. Ameen. In the dua made at tahajjud time by women on their menses, valued the same as everyone else in a pure making dua. Therefore, does Allah descend down the seven heavens to listen? As we all know as Muslims, the tahajjud time is very special for us. Specifically, the last portion of the night. That is very, very special for the Muslims. And this blessing or this acceptance on that time is for everyone. Even for the sisters who are in their monthly periods. Now, they can get up, they can engage in ibadah. Now the thing is that when we say ibadah, all of a sudden it comes only salat. Right? So that's not a salat, is dhikr. Dhikr can be done at that time. Even the sisters can do it. Dua, special time for the acceptance of dua. There are different times in the 24 hours in which mentions the dua are definitely accepted. We have so many problems in our lives, day to day, whether health problem, wealth problem, marital problems, kids problems, spouses problems. So these are very special times. And then we look to other different avenues to do something that these problems go away. But it's just still piling up, but we don't think about it that these times that Allah has given to us to make dua, to talk to Allah, to have a conversation, to make dua to Allah, these are the special times you wake up for at those times. When you are in need, you're desperate. So these are the times of tahajjud that you wake up, acceptance. For example, Jummah day is very special for us, right? Especially between Asr and Maghrib time, that is very special acceptance of prayers. Ulama has mentioned that when the Imam comes for the khutbah, that is a very special time. That is a time of acceptance. After every fard salah, it comes in the hadith, Sahih hadith. After every fard salah, the dua are accepted. So in this situation, for those sisters who are in their monthly menses, they wake, even though they cannot pray, but they can do dua, they can do a bit zikr, istighfar, that is permissible for them as well. So that is even they wake up for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or do some muraqabah, like tadabbur, the fikr, and they just sit down all alone, even sitting down, reflecting on your own life, what I'm doing correctly, what I'm doing wrong. This is all the acceptance. This is all ibadah in that time. So yes, this time is a blessed time for everyone, whether for those women who are in their menses. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa alaikum assalam. Please clarify if the following falls under buying and selling at the time of Jumu'ah. So as we all know, as Muslims, when the time of Jumu'ah comes, business or any work is not permissible. It's mentioned in the Quran to leave everything. Once after you're done with Jumu'ah, then you can do whatever business or work you're doing. So they're asking buying and selling at the time of Jumu'ah. Number one, advertising the product via social media during this period. And number two, responding via social media platforms online when someone inquires about a product. So buying and or if there's any inquiries, responding to them. So as we know that it is not permissible to do this. Even all this are also in business, working, even you're working online, doing via social media, advertising. This is work. Any questions that comes to you to ask about the product, to give the reply at that moment, that is not permissible. So stay away from all these things. It's only 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour maximum. Why? It's very unfortunately the value of Jummah, we are losing so much. SubhanAllah, we are in the masjid, we're still on our phones. Right? So it's emergency, that is something else. We can understand it's an emergency, but it's just very sad that we lose the time, that moment, that special moment that we have very little, half an hour, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 35 minutes, is very valuable. Leave your phone, just leave it in the car so that you don't have to use it when you're sitting inside the masjid. Do some dhikr, istighfar. As I said, that is a time of acceptance. Forget about your business and your work and for just half an hour. We make efforts to come from our work or from our house, wherever we're coming from, to the masjid. And then we're doing the same thing what we're doing at work, or what's your work anyways. So business, working at the time of Jumu'ah, it is not permissible. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Imam. Wa alaikum assalam. Is it permissible for a Muslim to be friends with non-Muslims? There are levels of friendship. It is mentioned in the Quran. Okay? I'll just summarize it very quickly. Friendship, I'm saying friend, but I'm putting a word loyalty with it. Friendship with loyalty, this is not permissible. What does that mean? Friendship with loyalty. That both are so close to each other, so much friends to each other, that the aims and their objectives become one. Two friends, they're so much close to each other that their aims and objectives become one goal in their life, right? And each one of them is supporting the other. So this is not acceptable in Islam. This is prohibited. This is what Allah has mentioned in many places in the Quran, especially in Surah Al-Imran, in Surah Ma'idah, لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين, under this ayah. Because the reason that ulama has mentioned that the objectives and the goals of a Muslim is totally different than a non-Muslim. It's understandable. Our goal is Allah, is to achieve that the pleasure and the happiness of Allah. Allah is happy with me. That's our goal, number one, no matter what. So a non-Muslim doesn't have that goal, that aim, and will not support you. So having that close friendship that much, it is prohibited in Islam. The second level, sympathy and cooperation with a non-Muslim. It is permissible. For those who are not fighting against the Muslims, those non-Muslims who are not enemies or who are not fighting against Muslims, to have sympathy, to have cooperation with them, it is permissible in Islam. Actually desirable with everybody, except, as I said, there's an exception. The third is having a courteous attitude towards others. That is for everyone. Each and every human being, to have a courteous attitude towards them. So what does that mean, having a courteous attitude? Is that, they become a guest, a visitor, your neighbors. So we have to have a good relationship with them. That's it. And number 4 is commercial transactions. We can have also commercial transaction, again, and with the exception is that there is no anything haram going on within the limits of Islam. So these are friendships. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4. So having a non-Muslim friend, no problem. You can have a friend, being a courteous to them, being a good attitude with them, saying hi, hello, how are you, everything. If they are sick, you can go and visit them, no problem. Make dua for them, for their goodness, everything, for their iman. And our friendship should be always with this intention that I'm going to give him some message of Islam. That's number 1, our intention should be. Or our neighbors, because on the day of judgment, if you have a neighbor, if anyone has a neighbor who is a non-Muslim, they can complain to Allah, Ya Allah, this person was with me for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, this neighbor, and did not come to me and say to believe in Allah, to give me a message. So at least do something, It doesn't have to be in open, but be courteous to them, be nice to them, take care of them. A lot of times they are elderly neighbors. That's a good opportunity. Just get some groceries for them. Just maybe cut their grass. Just clean their driveway when there's noise. These things help a lot. In that way, then they automatically ask you. So the summary is that if a friendship is with loyalty, that is not permissible in Islam. But other than that, being generous to them, having sympathy and cooperation with them, this is fine, no problem with that. Again, as I said, our intention should be good. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Allah